Have faith. Let it begin. Hello, everyone. My name is Angel, and thank you for watching and listening to another episode of Have Faith, Let It Begin, available on all platforms, from your iPhones to your Androids to your apps such as Spreaker, SoundCloud, iTunes, Tumblr, iHeartRadio. There's so many other opportunities, podcast player, Player FM. These are all the different platforms that are available to you. Even YouTube now puts our shows on, so that if you are not able to download certain apps, you can go on the computer and go to YouTube and watch us at AWS Santana. That's our YouTube page. Let me get started by stating one fact. This show begins and ends with an amazing song, and it is written, performed, produced all by a 14-year-old young lady who I'm proud to call my goddaughter, GABBIE Santana. Thank you for the use of our theme song, Tested by You. Go to her YouTube channel, GABBIE Santana. Let's continue to make her a star, like I know and I always say that she's going to be. She already is. Folks, I want to get started right off the bat with, you saw the title, and you're probably thinking, depression. How would I want to listen to this show, or this episode, I should say, with a title like depression? Well, we've all gone through it. Some of us won't admit to having a depression. Maybe they'll say, well, I've been kind of sad, or I lost my smile. Depression can really quickly creep up on you. And it's what we do with that depression that can move us in the right direction. Back in 2001, I went through a very difficult breakup. The breakup that I had would literally change who I became. Let me be more detailed when I say it would change me. I have always been a very insecure person. I struggled with my weight growing up. I was bullied mainly from my brothers more than my classmates. I struggled with being the youngest of four, and in my opinion at the time, not having the talents that my brothers and sister had, not knowing or identifying who I really was, not understanding who Angel, quote unquote, was. I had a brother who was an amazing athlete, all sports across the board. I have another brother who was gifted into he just was an amazing dancer. He's an amazing performer. He's an entertainer. Then I had my sister, who also was an athlete and an amazing dancer. They all were. And then there was me. Growing up, the only thing I could attach myself to that made me feel better about myself was wrestling. Not the Olympic wrestling, but the sports entertainment world of professional wrestling. Growing up, I watched different superstars teach children lessons of how to grow up, how to say their prayers, eat their vitamins, train every day, and believe in themselves. Yes, I'm talking about a fellow wrestler named Hulk Hogan, who had his message each and every week for the kids. Growing up, I was never ridiculed or picked on for being a wrestling fan. But I continued to struggle with the way I looked, the way I felt about what I looked like in a mirror. As I got older, I struggled with that throughout high school. A lot of people that will listen to this will probably have a hard time believing that, because I always had a smile on my face. I always believed that life was good. And I still do. Even when I went through my struggles, as you had heard in previous episodes, of having a back surgery, having scoliosis, having multiple surgeries for many different things, constantly being sick, I always had a good view on life, and I never hated life. I never took life for granted. But deep down inside, I struggled with my weight. I struggled with the way that I looked. As I got older and met my first love, she made me feel special. She made me feel that I finally had achieved something so great. As the relationship progressed and it got longer and longer, the relationship started to disintegrate. Issues started to come up. I started to get told that I was overweight. She didn't say it in so many words, but would hint that I needed to go on a diet. There were a lot of factors, and I'm not here to put blame on this individual, because I am not perfect. I also was not a very good boyfriend, so to speak. I always put my career at the time and wrestling first. When issues came up, I would hide from confrontation. So I want to make it clear that this is not me being a victim. I was also someone that was not, someone that you should look at and say, oh, poor Angel. No, I wasn't a perfect person. I wasn't a great boyfriend either. As time went on and the relationship died and I moved to a different state to escape the breakup / take a promotion, I got involved with not social media, but social events. I finally met friends and they finally made me feel great. Weight never came up. But during my depression, I started to lose weight. I started to, thank the Lord, never do anything illegal. I never did the drugs or anything like that. But I just started not eating healthy. My unhealthy part was I started taking on multiple jobs. And here's where the lesson comes in. I know I have a very long intro, but there's a lesson, and you know that there's a lesson. I started to hear and believe in what other people thought. I started to always believe that if I had a girlfriend, if I had a right body physique, if I had the right look, like everyone else said or I was watching, I would feel better about myself. As I started to change and get skinnier, as I started to dress the way I believed I saw other people tell me that I should dress, as I started to evolve, I started to lose my smile. I started to become someone else that I was not. And I started to believe that the old me was gone. It was not until I met a young lady who was temporarily in Rhode Island, and we became very good friends. She influenced me and made me feel special, made me feel, I'll use the term beautiful, handsome. I'll even go as far as saying sexy. And the ironic thing about it is, as I hung out with her more and more. And I don't want to give her name out because, quite frankly, I've yet to ask her. To be very honest with you, we lost touch years later. Not in a negative way. We just, people grow up, and like you heard in the last episode, people change. So I don't want to bring out her name without her permission. So I apologize for not having a name for the source. But I guarantee you and I promise you that she exists. She became one of my greatest friends. She taught me to believe in myself. She made me go back out into the world with the notion that I am a good-looking man, that I am a successful person. The lesson is this. When you go through something traumatic, when you go through something abusive, physically or emotionally, and again, this is all my opinion, all of my own personal experience, you have to be able to relate to someone. You have to be able to vent to someone. You have to be able to let all that frustration inside of you out in a positive way. And I'll give an example. Too often we see things in the news, and I hate the fact that I have to use this because I always said I would never get into the news or political, but I just want to point out one point. Too often we see in the news people let out their frustrations in a negative way. I don't have to get into details because we all watch the news, but they have a short fuse. I am so privileged, and I'm so honored, I'm so grateful that my faith allows me to take my anger, my frustrations, and learn to forgive and move on. You almost have to take the frozen way. Let it go. Let it go. But some of us can't let things go. Some of us deal with things in different ways. I respect that. But I will say this. Revenge is not a way of letting go. Karma and hoping and wishing bad things on other people does not allow things to let go. Forgiveness allows that hatred, that meanness, if that's even a word, to go away. And trust and believe, I know forgiveness is not easy. If it was, the world would be a better place. God forgave those who did him wrong. God forgave those who betrayed him, who stood at him. We all can forgive. We all must learn to let go. Eventually, I met my wife. My wife we've been together now since 2007. 11 years together, plus. Has always made me feel special. Have always made me feel exquisite. And I know that I do the same for her. If you don't have someone in your life that can do that for you, I encourage you to email me. I'd be more than happy to send you daily messages designed for you. But here's my last bit of advice to all of you. Do not allow anyone to steal your joy. Do not allow anyone to tell you you're not special, you're not handsome, you're not beautiful. Because I've said this many times, and I stress it so powerfully. We are all made in God's image. And God is beautiful. Faith is amazing. We all have God-given talents and qualities that we may not have realized that we can utilize to go out and change the world. But it's now time to do so. It's now time to get up, dust yourself off, and realize that we all are beautiful people. We all are great individuals. We all have a choice of being good. I'm not even going to say the other one. We all have a choice of being good. We all have a choice to be patient. We all have a choice to allow people, to allow you the opportunity to change their lives. Do not allow anyone to tell you how to live your life. Do not allow anyone to tell you that you are not capable. Because I'm here to tell you, as living proof for myself, someone told me once that I will never have a relationship. I am married. Somebody once told me I will never feel good or look good to the world. I beg to differ. Somebody once told me I was not capable of preaching. I began to preach. I service my church when needed to preach. Someone once told me I would never amount to anything, especially get a college degree. I'm a successful businessman. I have a podcast that I dream to have. I have a successful marriage. And I've graduated college with a degree. Someone once told me that there was no way I could bounce back after being fired from my sales job. I have the dream job where I work. Somebody once told me that no matter what happens in life, I could never be a good leader. Ironically, my title at work is leader. Don't allow anyone to change the way you feel. Don't allow anyone to change your future plans. Let God steer the way. Have faith and let it begin.
Don't you see that your faith is coming alive?